Hi, my name's Craig Hurd, and this is just a recommendation for Elise and her program. So, a bit of background on me: I'm a business consultant and business owner, and I am also a father and a partner to somebody. Um, I joined some of the challenges I was really having before working with Elise was that I was doing well in work. That was business was growing. It wasn't really a problem, and I felt like I really understood how to do that. It's just I've been doing it for a number of years, and I feel like that path is laid out for me on how to do that well. And I've invested a lot in how to learn those things. But when it came to my relationship, I was having some challenges. But I think from my first initial introductory session with Elise, I realized a lot of the challenges, most probably all the challenges I was having, was actually my relationship with myself and my past, especially. Some things in my childhood, not in truth, not things I considered to be all that traumatic, had a lasting negative impact on who I was as an adult, who I was as a man, as a father, things I was unaware of. And in that first session with Elise, I was she really illuminated how they were all connected. And I think that really made me rethink a lot of the ways I was doing things. So I was motivated to explore it a little bit further, but I was also motivated because I didn't really have the same roadmap for that. Relationships and being a father, and also the relationship with myself and my past, I didn't really know how to improve that. And so when the group program opened up, I think it was a great opportunity for me. And she'd added so much value to me and built, illuminated so much for me in that initial hour that we had together that it was a bit of a no-brainer. Eventually, like a lot of men, it took me a while to admit I needed help with something, but once I admitted that, she was the obvious choice. In terms of the actual program itself, so I've seen a dramatic change in myself in the last 7 or 8 weeks, which I wouldn't have thought I could have changed much in 7 or 8 weeks. But I think the biggest thing, the first initial thing anyway, was that I learned a lot of the struggles I was having were really, really common. I think as men, in my world anyway, men don't really share when things aren't working. Men are really good at saying when things are, and yeah, just that's really familiar. But when things are tough and you don't know what to do, it's really hard to admit that to yourself and other guys. And what I've learned, for one, in the last 7 weeks, is a lot of us go through the same challenges, and just we don't tend to talk about it. But what I really appreciate about the program is I've learned that not only are some of the challenges I'm having really, really common, but they're really old problems, and that they have solutions to them. You know, ways of thinking about old stories and trauma, and ways to think about how I show up in the world are old problems. And I think for me, one specific thing is I had always really struggled with my relationship with anger. And I think early on I discovered that actually the Bruce Banner Hulk dichotomy that exists in a lot of men, like 0 or 60, you know, all or nothing, is pretty common. And to actually have a way to recognize when that's happening, and also some real practical things on what to do about it, was super valuable. It's also, the second thing I would say is, it's also really hard to know when it happened. But when I reflect on the past 7 or 8 weeks, I just see a big change in myself. I see my head and my heart being a lot freer in the pressure I put on myself, the way I think about certain things, and that lack of pressure, that lack of internal stress has made way for more certainty and more confidence in my life, which of course has improved my relationship, how I show up as a father, and lo and behold, bonus, it's really improved my business. I've been able to take bolder moves, which I never thought possible or never expected from the program. But I've been able to take bolder, riskier moves because I have the confidence that even if it doesn't work, I'll be fine, which is huge, especially when you run your own business, I think. And then the third thing, the probably the biggest surprise, is the group of guys that I got the chance and have the chance to communicate with. There's something about doing something as a group, as going through the same thing together, that tends to bond people. And I think one-to-one would have been great for other reasons, but one of the great things about the group is the group itself. I've learned equally as much from the guys as I have from Elise, and for me that's been really insightful. Hearing it from almost a teacher is one thing, but hearing it from a teacher and then learning the other students are going through the same thing is reassuring. It brings peace, and it makes the transition a lot easier as well. So I would say that I've learned a lot. I've learned that my challenges aren't my own. They're pretty common. I've learned there's a solution to a lot of them, and I've learned other guys have got those same challenges, and it's all this is culminated in more certainty in myself, in how to approach some of these emotional relationship-based challenges that I have. And actually, there's this roadmap laid out for how to solve these problems as much as there is any business course out there. So beyond that, I would say if you're feeling under pressure with the challenges in your life, but either relationship with yourself, relationship with the past, or relationship with your other half, I would say this is a really good shout for you. I would give a caveat to that, saying that it definitely took some work and some willingness on my part to show up to the calls and to be super vulnerable, which is hard before you do it, right? But if you're willing to do those things, I think you'll see a dramatic improvement in I would say your relationships in your life, but actually what I've got from it more is my relationship with myself. So more than happy to recommend the program. And I think absolutely, if you've got the similar challenges, if you can relate to what I'm saying, jump in head first, feet first, and you'll come out the other end stronger, more certain, and feel generally just more capable of taking on the world.